talk about today specifically is just the idea that there are certain things that we can do that are going to help us move on from back pain for the long term. Maybe that's the best way to put it. Okay, and we want to be able to do this so that we can obviously live our life without worry, without fear. Okay, and so I'm going to discuss today the thing that I see never gets discussed when it comes to back pain and solving back pain. Everyone wants to talk about the movements, and everyone wants to talk about, you know, what exercises I need to do, and like, should I get surgery and all this stuff. And you know what, there's a place for everything. I always tell people with back pain, like it can be a very nuanced thing. Like it's not just, you know, one thing. And again, you know, this is for people who have chronic back pain. If you just have some tightness in your back, you know what, you might need to just strengthen up a little bit, strengthen your glutes, strengthen your core. You might just need to move more. But if you're dealing with chronic back pain, there's some things that I want you to understand. And I think there's some things that can really help you change your mindset around how to do this, okay? And so your obviously pain is real, but the story you've been told about it, that's really the problem, okay? And the way that we relate ourselves to pain is the problem. So what if I told you the pain that you feel might not be coming from where you think it is? Right? You might think, oh, you're crazy. Like, just shut the hell up, man. Like, trust me, I know where my pain comes from. I can feel it. Or, you know, what if I told you that even people who don't have an arm still feel pain in the arm they don't have? It's called phantom limb pain. It's real. It hurts for them, right? But it proves something important. Pain doesn't only come from the body, right? It doesn't only live in the body. Actually, mind you, it actually lives in the brain. And that's the crazy part about this, right? Is like we often hyper focus on the area where we feel the pain, and we just disregard everything else. So pain truly is perception. It's not a problem, right? So pain is your nervous system trying to protect you. It's your body's alarm system. And if that alarm goes off, it doesn't mean that the entire house is burning down, so to speak, right? It's like, you know, smoke alarm goes off in your house and you're not like you don't instantly call like the fire department, right? You're just like, okay, something's going on. Let me go investigate. All right, let me go put the fire out. If there's a fire, let me see if it's just like, you know, someone's burning toast, you know? And that's the same thing you need to do with your body. It really needs to pay attention, right? Something's happening. What's going on? That's essentially what it is, okay? And this is interesting because, you know, I hear a lot of people asking me about getting MRIs and like, should I get an MRI? And yes, you should get an MRI. But there are some people who have MRIs and they don't have pain. So they've done studies on this, where someone will go in an MRI machine, like they want to see, does, you know, disc bulges, stenosis, and all these things, do they automatically equal pain? And the answer is no, they don't. And if you have a disc bulge, does it mean you have pain? No. But if you don't have any disc issues, does it mean you're not going to have pain? And the answer is no. So you could not have any disc issues and have pain, right? And you can feel like, it can feel like sciatic pain. It has all the same symptoms, and you've gotten all the massages and everything like that, right? So this is exactly why that can take place, because pain is complex. It's not always a direct signal of damage. It really is, it's just nuanced, right? It's protective prediction or something like that, right? It's something that where it's not black and white, I guess is the best way to talk about that. So there's this crazy thing called phantom limb pain. And this is nuts if you look it up, like if you read about it. And so essentially it's just the idea that you can have pain in your body, even though that body doesn't exist. And so someone has their leg amputated, for example, and they still feel pain in that leg, but it's not there. It's gone, right? So their brain is still has that pain map, right? It's like it knows we send pain signal here, we receive pain signal, and it's firing, right? And so the person feels the pain there. So just imagine what your brain is doing after years of actual pain, stress, fear, tension, inflammation, right? All that stuff that you've gone through. Just imagine the map, the pain map that your brain has laid out. So it's easy to get stuck in chronic pain because like you've been living in it forever. This is just how you function. Okay. And so over time, it gets better at producing pain, even when that initial danger is gone. So like you may have had the initial injury, but you've built up such a habitual, mapping of that pain where your brain is just like, this is what we do. This is what we do. We lay down the pain. Or like another example would be like anytime you have a specific type of movement, that type of movement causes pain, but nothing's there there's no damage. Like it shouldn't cause pain, but it does because you've learned that we move this way, pain happens, right? And so that's kind of like how this whole thing works, okay? And so essentially when you're in pain for a long time, your nervous system becomes sensitized to it, right? It becomes used to it. And then it turns up the volume and then you feel even more, even with less stimulus, because you're always in that state of like, oh, pain's coming, pain's coming. And this is why like there's things that didn't hurt before, they become unbearable. And so you're not weak, you're definitely not crazy, but your body just learned to guard itself too much, right? It's like everything has diminishing returns, right? And so we want that pain signal, like, hey, something's wrong. But then it's like it's gone. Hey, I'll use the analogy of the smoke alarm. Smoke alarm's not working, and it's just like you can't turn it off. It's like beeping. I don't know if it. So recently, I was actually changing my smoke alarm. Okay, and so I put the new batteries in, and this thing, like, I'm like, is it working? And I press the button. It says press to test. So what do? I press the button. And this thing goes bananas. It's like beeping nonstop. I'm like, I don't know what the heck what am I supposed to do? Like my ears are like exploding. And it was just going, right? It wouldn't stop. And eventually like, okay, I figured it out. But that's kind of what's happening with your body. Okay. The pain is not turning off and it's broken, right? Like something's not working. Okay. So one way to start to change this reality is with your conscious mind. Okay, so much of what happens in our life is like unconscious. There's all these things that are taking place, but we have control over things because we control our conscious mind to a certain degree, right? And so if we can now intervene with our conscious mind, we can start to change the way our body responds. And so one way to do that is truly to tell yourself, like I'm not broken, right? Because most people tell themselves this all the time. Like they lie to themselves, and they carry it along with them, and they say, I'm broken, right? Because you believe it because you've been in pain and you can't move. So like, of course you're broken, right? Of course you're broken because you can't move. Like you're in pain all the time. And then also you've probably been told like, hey, I have degenerative spine disease, right? My discs are narrowing. I have degenerative disc disease. I have stenosis. My discs are bulging. The only option is surgery. But studies show this, that plenty of people with herniated discs have no pain at all, right? So we talked about that. And lots of people with clean scans have chronic pain. So you're not broken. That's the one thing, okay? So just tell yourself that. But you are disconnected or you're malfunctioning maybe, okay? And so this is like a really key thing. It's like a belief that many people hold is that they're broken, that they're just too old, that they have disc bulges, that they'll never get over it, that this is something that they have to carry on for the rest of their life. And those types of things will keep you stuck. Because if you believe that, then it's true, right? It doesn't matter what the reality is. If you truly believe you're stuck, you're going to be stuck because you're never going to actually take actions that are going to help get you unstuck. You'll just accept that fate, right? So realistically, pain is a message. Pain is a friend. It's not an enemy, right? I know you might feel like it's an enemy, but it's not. It's your body talking to you. It's you talking to you, right? Pain is you talking to you, right? And it's like that smoke alarm. It's like, yo, just pay attention, you know? And so that's what your body's asking. It's like, can you pay attention, please? Like, and so don't shut it down. Do not just tell it to shut up. But what most people do is they numb it, right? Constantly with pain meds, alcohol or other drugs and stuff like that. They ignore it, right? I've been there before, just ignoring. It's fine. It's only a little bit of this. It's okay. Push through pain. I've been there as well. The classic one. Hey, I'll just, I got to get stronger. I got to get this workout in. My fitness is more important than than the pain. That's another one. Or they catastrophize it, right? And it's this, it's so bad, and they play it up in their head. But none of those things actually lead to healing. So really what you need to do is you need to reframe. Okay? Reframe pain. It's not something to fear. It's something to learn from. Because at the end of the day, you have the pain, right? So like you can continue to numb it. You can continue to ignore it. You can continue to push through the pain. You can catastrophize it. But again, none of those things lead to pain. So in that case, don't fear it. Learn from it, right? Really learn. Like what should I do? What can I do? What is my body telling me? What am I telling myself? Because your pain is you telling you. It's not someone else. It's you. So I just want to be clear about something. Like, because you're okay, I'm going to accept that pain's a message. I'm not saying don't do anything. This is not just like breathe and meditate your pain away. No, I'm not saying that. Although I do believe in breath work and it can help, and I do believe in meditation. These are things that I do. But you do have to take action, right? You can't just like, oh, I'm just going to sit in this painful position and meditate and breathe and it's all going to everything's going to turn out great. No, you have to move, right? You have to train. You do have to rebuild. Okay. But what I'm literally challenging you on here, specifically tonight, is this: stop fighting your body. Start working with it. Please stop fighting your body and start working with it. This is like, I see people do this. I've done it myself. Okay. So I'm not being critical here. It's just like, once you figure this out and once you start to listen to your body and work with it, things will start to change. So stop pushing through, stop numbing it, stop hoping it's going to disappear. If you really want to defeat chronic pain, like for the long term, you have to build a new relationship with your body. All right? That's just the way it is. And you might be thinking like, well, that's fine. I'm just going to go get surgery. And you can do that. I'm not going to tell anyone to don't go get surgery. Go get surgery. But the reality is, and I speak from experience, and you can look up the research yourself, because I have clients myself that are working with me after surgery, and they were fine for a little while. But guess what happened? They did not connect with their body. Right? They just went back to moving the same way, or doing the same actions, or not listening to their body, or medicating when they got tight, or pushing through pain, ignoring it. And then they're worse. And in some cases, multiple surgeries before they started working with me. Okay. And so that's my big call out to you. If you're listening to this right now, is work with your body, not against it. Okay. And so what does that actually look like? Okay. That's great. Well, it means learning to listen. In some cases, learn to listen again, if you ever had that, right? One thing you can start doing is tracking when it flares up, and then what calms you down. So on one side of things, if you start to track things a little bit, you'd be like, okay, well, what's actually causing it to flare up, right? Oh, am I sitting in this way? Is it the car? Is it stress, right? Is it work? Is it when I stand or walk too long, right? Once you can identify those things, that's great. On the other side of it, right? Start to list the things that make you feel better, whether it's calming down a flare up, but more importantly, maybe it just drives down that standard pain that you have, like that baseline pain, right? It might be a certain position that you get into. It might be when you're lying down on the floor. It might be when you're breathing. It might be when you're it could be a whole bunch of things, right? For a lot of people, like I know sauna's been great, right? One thing I'm telling people a lot to do is, the 90-90 position, which again, I have a protocol for that. So if you are listening right now and you want the protocol for any of these protocols, let me know. Just just send me a DM or comment back pain wherever you're watching this, and I'll send it to you. But essentially what it means is rebuilding trust with your body through movement, breath, mindset, patience. Okay. So super important. So here's 3 things that you can start to do right now to start to rewire that connection. Okay. So one is a body scan. Yeah, this might be a little weird, but what you would do is you would sit or lie down quietly, breathe, nice deep breaths in your stomach, and you'd feel your body. You don't judge, you just observe. Okay, so I actually have a guided meditation on this, so I can send it to you. Again, just comment back pain, and I'll reach out to you. So that's one thing you can do. Okay, body scan meditation. I talked about the pain journal already, so you can again write down what triggered pain today, what helped, get really locked in on what's going on with your body. You can do a movement audit. So where are you stiff? Where are you guarded? Where are you overcompensating? So I do have a movement assessment that you can do. So again, send me back pain. I'll reach out to you. This is all free stuff, by the way. And this will help make you understand yeah, I'm actually always compensating to my left, or I'm always feeling stuff this way. The point is to reconnect with your body in whatever way you can, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, the way you move, the way you think, the way you breathe, all these things are important. And the good news here is that your brain is super malleable, right? You can learn new patterns, just like that person at the start where I was talking about them, the brain sending that signal that it learned to the leg that's not even there anymore. It's been chopped off, but the brain sending the signal, they still feel it. Well, obviously you can change that pattern, okay? So the same way your nervous system learned to guard or protect or send that pain, it can learn something new, right? And so this is you've probably heard of neuroplasticity, right? It's like your brain can change, and you can literally rewire the brain's relationship to your body. But that comes on the other side of stopping certain habits, all right? Stop reinforcing the old patterns. And that means to stop reacting with fear, frustration, or avoidance, and really just start to respond with curiosity, intention, and trust. And I know that might be hard because you're in so much pain and you're like, listen, man, I just want the pain to go away. Why do you keep telling me that the pain is my friend? Yeah, you're like, just shut up. I get it, right? I've been there. But as you start to gain a little bit of pain reduction in your journey, please start to build a connection with your body. I promise you, for the long term, this is actually how you make sure chronic pain never comes back. This is how, okay? So if you've been in pain for years, I want to challenge you to try something just radically different, right? No more gadgets, passive treatments, no more meds, no more numbing the pain, all right? But what I want you to build is awareness, movement, consistency, connection, right? This is essentially what I teach my clients inside the body rebuild system, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's not about short-term relief. It's about long-term freedom. I always talk about playing there's the vertical game and then there's the horizontal game, okay? So the vertical game is how strong can I get? How quickly can I get strong? How quickly can I run fast? Or how quickly can I make this go away? It's it's a very quick thing. It's you're climbing the mountaintop, but when you're climbing the mountaintop, you're going up, you got to come down, right? You can't live up there forever. And so rather than taking on that approach, what I want you to think about is the horizontal approach of once you get better, and you will, how long can you do that for? So when you get your life back and you're back to whatever sport, or you're feeling good, or whatever it is that you're doing, the game is a long game after that. All right. Don't go chasing short, quick fixes. Don't push your body and say, okay, I'm going to spend the next 6 months adding as much muscle as I can at the cost of everything else. It's not that any of this stuff is bad, right? You obviously want to build muscle and strength. That's a good thing to have. But it's about doing this for the long term. It's about doing this for the rest of your life. And how long can you maintain that? And when you build that connection with your body, that's what you're going to get access to. That's how you stay out of the chronic pain cycle for the long term. Yeah. And so really that's when I say it's not about short-term pain relief, it's about long-term freedom. That's what I mean. Okay. So if you're ready to take this next step, I want you to DM the word rebuild, and I'm going to send you my back pain solution, and I'm going to start to show you how to do this. Okay. So comment where you're watching, DM where you're watching. I live stream to a few different places. If you're listening to this way later into the future, just comment wherever you're listening to it, wherever you're watching this. I want you to comment the word rebuild. I'll send you my free program, the back pain solution, and it's going to help get your mind right around this type of recovery. Okay. Because it's a different approach. All right. Okay. That's all I got for today. That's a wrap, but I appreciate you for tuning in, but more importantly, I just want to wish you well on your healing journey. Okay. You're on this journey, and it is a journey, and then we want you to accept it as a journey. I want you to connect with your body, right? Start to listen to your body. And if you do that, you can have your life back, and you can do it for the long term. All right. And again, if you are watching this and you want my back pain solution, just reach out. It's my gift to you. If you have any questions, and if you ever think I can help you, just reach out. Okay. That's all I got for today. I'm out of here. Peace.